Hey there, WealthWise84 family, ready to dive into a story that's as electrifying as the newest Samsung smartphone? Today, we're going on a roller coaster ride through the life of Samsung's founder, and trust me, it's going to be a wild one. Ever had a day where you lost your socks in the laundry? Yeah, we've all been there. But imagine being born into a wealthy family in 1910, only to face one of the world's biggest economic crashes. That's right. Lee Byung-chul, the founder of Samsung, faced the Great Depression as a young adult. And here he was, thinking his biggest problem was going to be choosing what hat to wear that day. As a young man, Lee ventured to Tokyo to study. But let's just say he was a little more interested in the local cuisine than his textbooks. He often joked that his biggest accomplishment in Japan was mastering the art of sushi eating. But jokes aside, our man Lee faced real challenges. With political turmoil brewing in Japan and Korea, he packed his bags and his sushi skills and headed home to start a business. You'd think his first business would be some massive electronics firm, right? Nope. This guy started a dried fish, locally grown grocery trading company because, every tech guru begins with fish, right? By now, you're probably wondering, when's the epic transformation from fish to phones? Patience, my wealth-wise friend. Even Elon Musk didn't begin with rockets. Speaking of rockets, Lee's business aspirations took off like one. But like every rocket launch, there were a few misfires. One time he tried to mill and refine rice, but that venture ended up being as sticky as a pot of overcooked sushi rice. Ouch. But our guy was undeterred. He had an appetite for success. See what I did there? By 1960, Samsung, meaning 3 stars in Korean, shifted its focus. From fish and rice, they jumped into textiles, food processing, and, wait for it, electronics. Now, while most of us can't decide between a spicy tuna or salmon roll, Lee was deciding to transform a fish trading company into an electronics giant. And the world said, "Arigato, Lee." By the 1980s, our main man Lee and his Samsung empire were not just content making Walkmans or cassette players. They set their sights higher: TVs, radios, and eventually the smartest of smartphones. Now, before we continue with this wild ride, a small pit stop. If you're loving this deep dive, remember to hit that subscribe button below. Your support helps us keep bringing such electrifying stories to you. Thanks for being the best part of WealthWise84. Back to the story. Let's fast forward a bit. Picture this. It's the 90s. The world is wearing baggy jeans, listening to Britney, and there's Lee, watching it all on a Samsung TV, probably thinking, look at how far we've come, from fishy beginnings to a world of tech. The legacy of Lee Byung-chul is not just in the gadgets we hold, but in the resilient spirit of turning any situation, no matter how fishy, into a golden opportunity. And while we chuckle at the fun turns in his journey, there's a lesson for all of us. When life gives you fish, make an electronics empire, or at least some darn good sushi. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into the fabulous world of Samsung's early products and innovations. After dabbling in textiles and food processing, Lee set his sights on something more electrifying: the world of electronics. It all kicked off in the late 1960s with Samsung's first black and white television. It was a simple box, but a box filled with dreams and Technicolor possibilities in monochrome shades. The 1970s marked the arrival of Samsung Sanyo Electronics and the company's very first washing machine and refrigerator. Can you imagine Lee, dressed in the finest 70s fashion, fluffing his clothes in a Samsung washing machine while grabbing a snack from a Samsung fridge? Lee Byung-chul's interactions with competitors added more spice to the tale. In the early days of Samsung's electronic venture, the world was ruled by giants like Sony and Panasonic. Lee was not only battling technical challenges, but also the Goliaths of the electronic world. He masterfully navigated these battles by focusing on innovation and quality, ensuring Samsung's products always carried a mark of excellence and reliability. In fact, when entering the semiconductor industry, Lee famously said, "We are jumping into a new world with just three bare essentials: technology, human resources, and funds." Now that's what we call confidence. In a world of Betamax and VHS rivalry, Samsung chose to move ahead with VHS, a decision that brought in handsome profits and positioned the company as a key player in the electronics world. It was not just about surviving the competition, but about thriving and setting new benchmarks. The 1980s and 1990s were decades of bold innovation for Samsung. The world welcomed Samsung's first personal computer in 1983, a technological marvel of its time. And let's not forget the iconic AnyCall mobile phone launched in 1993, a phone that said, "Move over bulky bricks, sleek is in town." It made waves and signaled Samsung's grand entry into the mobile world. Oh, did you think that Samsung's tryst with competition was always a grueling battle? Far from it. Fast forward to more recent times, and you'd find Samsung supplying parts to its so-called competitors. That's right. Apple's iPhones have components manufactured by none other than Samsung itself. Now that's what we call keeping your friends close and your competitors closer. Now, let's pepper our story with some expert opinions. According to Mark Newman, a senior research analyst at Sanford C. Bernstein, Samsung is extraordinary in its ability to enter and then dominate new markets. Yes, the experts affirm, Samsung's journey from humble beginnings to towering success is a masterclass in innovation, strategy, and resilience. But Lee Byung-chul's philosophy was not just about crushing competition or stunning innovations. It was about creating a future where technology brings comfort, convenience, and connections, where every Samsung device echoes his vision and enduring spirit. Diving into Samsung's history is not just a technological voyage. It's a walk through an evolving legacy, a tribute to a man's indomitable spirit, and a salute to a company that stands tall, embracing the stars. From its first black and white television to the latest Galaxy smartphone, every Samsung device whispers the tale of Lee Byung-chul's audacious journey from dried fish to digital fantasies. The world today is interconnected and bright, and somewhere in this dazzling digital tapestry, Lee's legacy twinkles like the three stars of Samsung, illuminating the path of innovation, resilience, and enduring brilliance. And with these sparkling tales of tenacity, innovation, and brilliance, our journey today draws to a close. But remember, here on WealthWise84, the saga of learning and fun never ends. So if you are ready for more stories, more laughter, and more wisdom, hit that subscribe button and be a part of the grand WealthWise84 family. Here, history is never dull, stories are never just tales, and every episode is a celebration of life's grand adventure. So ready for the next episode of joy and discovery? We are all set to welcome you. And as we part ways today, here's our little reminder for you. Amidst the rush of life, the hum of gadgets, and the swirl of innovation, never forget to pause, smile, and embrace the wealth of life's wonders. And always remember to stay wealth-wise.